Welcome back to another episode of the Rondell Lane Podcast. Today we got Sewand Belcher in the building. So, Sewand, you are a real estate investor. Is it fair to say you're like a serial entrepreneur?
I guess you can say serial entrepreneur. Whenever people say serial, they kind of mean multiple businesses, and I do, but all of my businesses are like aligned with real estate. So,
Okay.
which I love. It makes things easier.
Oh, all right. Just a little background about you, man. Like, where you from? Like,
Man, I'm from a small town. If I told you where I was from, you wouldn't even know where it was.
Okay.
But it's Eastern North Carolina.
Eastern North Carolina.
Yeah, about 20 minutes away from the Outer Banks, about an hour away from Greenville. It's called Plymouth. It's literally,
I heard of Plymouth.
Yeah, it's probably 4,000 people there, 2 stoplights.
Yeah, I'm like that. A town called Laurinburg. You ever heard
Okay,
of it?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So I grew up in the sticks, man.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah,
So-
I got a house in Laurinburg.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
a little mobile home.
So what brought you to Greensboro?
I went to school here. I went to A&T. So I lived half my life in Raleigh, and that led me to playing in the band. And yeah, so when I chose my college, that was like a big, it's like a big deal. I wanted the college experience when it came to marching. So I went to A&T, and I was and I was a part of the Blue and Gold marching machine, and that was an amazing experience.
So you just, so assuming you just decided to never leave.
I guess that's kind of how it happened. I didn't make that decision, but that's just how it happened. Yeah,
Okay.
see, like senior year in college, we had me and my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, we had our first child
Gotcha.
at A&T, and so just naturally you get a job, you start working,
Yeah.
and luckily I've progressed. I've never felt like I had to reset and move or anything. So,
Okay.
and Greensboro is a good spot.
Yeah, I like
You know.
Greensboro. At this point, I've been in Greensboro longer than I grew up in Laurinburg.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
So, like, what got you into? Well, before we get into like real estate, what did you do before that?
Before I got into real estate, I sold cars. I mean, but there's so many things. I hate to even just say I sold cars because everything that I've done has led up to today. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
so before real estate, it was selling cars, which helped me a lot with learning how to speak to people and persuade, that kind of thing. Before that, I managed. I worked in a hotel, the O. Henry,
Okay.
during college. And the O. Henry was good because you're talking to people with affluence, and money, and then before that I was a supervisor at A&T's call center. So we raised money for the school,
Okay.
so like all of those things,
All right. So what birthed the real estate?
Yeah, all of those things happened after the other. That's really how I see it. So when I started making decent money selling cars, we had a really good like leadership team. Like they were making men. They were making men. Like if you came in young and you had some kind of success, literally those guys was like hugging you tight. Let's get you rolling. So they pushed you up a ladder. So like the social norm of pushing up is like you start making some money, great. Well, now you need some responsibilities. Nice car. Maybe you need a better apartment. Maybe you need to join some groups, get some hobbies. Find a girlfriend, get married, have kids. So they're pushing you up that ladder. The better salesperson you are, the more they're trying to push you into becoming a man. And so that's what happened.
Okay.
The car dealership, the car dealership happened. So
But I mean,
pushed you
like,
into that.
Okay, but I mean, like, what?
That's literally how it happened. So
Well, I mean, how did you get the information?
yeah, through the car dealership.
So somebody you knew there.
Literally set the appointment for me to get pre-qualified. So like I'm making $100,000 at this point, and I'm young. I'm 23. Okay, and the guys the finance manager Michael Starkey said, hey, look, for guys like you, we try to really make sure that you guys is good, because we want you to be, finance manager, sales manager,
Yeah.
So what are you spending your money on? We're having like a sit down in his office, and it's like, spending it. What do you mean? What do you mean am I spending it on? I was spending it at the strip club with the guys, And so he's like, hey, we need to get you, buying, a house. You got a nice car. You got a child. We need to get you buying a house. And I was like, okay, cool. But I don't have any good credit. I'm not gonna get qualified. He's like, yes, you will. We've gotten everybody here, qualified. Yes, you will. And so he's like, hey, go down to a bank and get pre-qualified. I didn't do it. 3 months later, I think I had sold 2 cars. It's noon. So selling 2 cars by noon is like rare. That doesn't really happen a lot. And so Stark is like, yo, did you get pre-qualified for that loan yet? I'm like, nah, I'm gonna have it done now. I'll do it whenever. He's like, okay, well, today you have to go home early. But before you go home, I set this appointment up. So he set an appointment up at State Employees, for me to go and get pre-qualified. And surely enough, they gave me an pre-qualification letter for like $120,000. So, which is crazy. And so I had sold a car to this lady named Jackie Graves. I told her whenever I got ready to buy, she bought a car for me. I'll buy a house, with her. And so boom, boom, boom.
Okay. Yeah. So that's not what I meant. So what I'm saying is like when you like the whole real estate investing.
That's
like,
it. That's how I got started.
Okay. Well, so like wholesaling it, for example.
No. See, you put a limit. You have a limited mindset about real estate investing. What's the difference between wholesaling and real estate investing? Well, just like I don't have on a seatbelt because I'm in this computer chair. The seatbelt is just a part of the car. So we're not going to give significance to the seatbelt. We're going to say, I'm about to buy a car, not I'm about to buy a seatbelt. So you see what I'm saying? So I'm a real estate investor. How I make money on the deal has nothing to do with you or anybody else. And I'm also not going to limit what I choose to do with every deal that comes my way and just limit it to selling it to somebody. That would be dumb. So we don't do that.
Okay.
So that's how I got started in real estate investing.
Okay.
Yeah. So that house right there, I ended up renting out.
Okay. How long was it before you rented it out?
ASAP. I rented it.
So you didn't move into it yourself?
No, okay. I didn't move it into myself. So what happened was when I closed on it, I kind of kept it like a secret from my girlfriend, and so when I closed on it, I wanted to surprise her with it, So we're like driving around, that kind of thing. I'm pretending like, hey, you like this neighborhood, we pull up to the house, boop, keys, let's go. We're about to move in.
That's dope.
She didn't want to. I thought it was dope too, but she didn't want to move in because we wasn't married yet.
Yeah.
Which was crazy because we already got a child together, So I wasn't expecting that at all. But I'm like, yo, I got this house. Like, what we gonna do? So I called my realtor, Jackie, and I said, hey, look, I want back out of this deal. It had already recorded. Everybody already got paid. You know what I mean? So she's like, that don't happen. But if you don't want to move in, you're not supposed to do this with the kind of loan that you got. But I could rent it out for you. That way you covers your mortgage and you get paid a little bit. So she rented out to this Indian guy that had just moved into town. He worked for some gas company or something, and they paid for the first 2 years, for him, right? And so boom, boom, boom. That's how I got started.
Okay.
Legit.
Well, I guess I should rephrase it. Like, how did you learn to level up into like different?
Well, I had to buy another house, right? Because now I still don't have a place to live. I'm still in an apartment. So maybe 6 months later, I asked LaMicah to marry me, and so at that point, she was like, oh, well, great, we need to buy a house, I'm like, nobody has 2 houses. Like, stop playing. We bought the house already. You don't want to move in, So I went back and I talked to Mike Starkey again. Like, I got engaged. My fiance talking about, she want to buy a house now. I just rented out that other house that I bought. And he's like, oh, I got 2 houses. I was like, oh, you got 2 houses? He's like, yeah, and Scott got 2 houses too. I said, get out of here. So how do I do that? Yeah. And he's like, just rinse and repeat the process. Go get pre-qualified, and boom, boom, boom. So I went back down to the same lady at State Employees, and she said, well, you got to make on-time payments for 12 months, and then on the 13th month, come back. We'll let you know what you pre-qualify for. And so during that waiting period, me and LaMicah, me and my wife, we drove around just trying to figure out what we both wanted, and yeah, so we picked out the exact area we wanted to be in and that kind of thing, and yeah, so 13th month came around. Surely enough, they said, yep, you can have this amount of money, and this time, since we knew the exact area, my wife wanted to like manifest, so we pulled over in the neighborhood and we walked down the street. And when we was walking down the street, I said, well, let's knock on the door right here so we can see who owns this vacant house. Maybe they got the number to the neighbors, and we can ask them if they want to sell. And so when they answered, her name was Shirley Wiley, that's the lady. And she's like, well, y'all come in. She was making some soup. She gave us some soup. Like, we was chilling. We talked to her for like an hour, about what we was trying to do. And she was like, oh, y'all want to buy my house? Yeah. So we ended up buying that lady's house. Now we done bought 2 houses in 2 years. So after we bought that house, I want another one. So it just kept going. It just kept going. But it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for that first one.
Right.
And the way it happened. Because it could have happened completely. We could have moved in and everything would have been completely different.
Yeah.
I might not have had that desire to want to buy something else.
So at what point do you decide to just go fully into real estate?
Well, I had 5 houses at this point, and I'm at the dealership. And I had wholesale maybe 6 or 7 houses as well. And so I told myself at that time, I was like, well, when I make what I make in one deal, I'll quit. That's what I kind of told myself. I had already hired this guy to help me with marketing on my website, and I was paying him a commission every time I did a deal, that kind of thing. So I told him, because he wanted to know, when I made $8,000 in one check, I'm down. I'll quit the dealership. And it happened. It happened quicker than I thought it was. So yeah.
So when you left your job, were you fearful at all?
Me?
Yeah.
Hell no. My wife, absolutely, because she's a stay-at-home mom at this point. So my wife, she thought it was crazy. She's like, we ain't got no plan. We ain't got no real savings. And we got a house. We got 2 houses. So, but I wasn't worried about it. I really wasn't. All the stuff that they taught us at the dealership, we had great leadership. I mean, they taught us sales. They taught us marketing. They were transparent with us. You know what I mean? All the things. So I wasn't worried about it at all.
What year is this?
This was 2017, 2016.
Not that long ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've done a wholesale deal. I've tried to do it. Well, I tried to take it serious.
Yeah.
So I need some advice, and a lot of people I've talked to had the same problem. Finding a house is not the problem, but when it gets to contacting the motivated seller, what advice would you give to somebody that's new, that's just fearful of making that phone call?
Do it again. And again and again. You're always going to be fearful. That's what the things that you want are on the other side of fear. And that's just the bottom line. I got that from the car dealership. So one thing at the car dealership, let's say your bonuses was at 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right? And at the end of the month, wasn't really the end of the month. All of your paperwork for those deals had to be submitted and turned in and funded by the banks by the second. Okay? If they was not funded on the second, then your deal would roll over. Now, those bonuses were big bonuses. 10 was 1,000, 15 was 1,500, 20 was 2,000, 25 was 2,500. Those are, you need those. I really think 25 was 4,000. But each tier was a bigger amount, and you needed that added up for you. So on the first, if you needed a signature from somebody so your deals could count from that previous month, literally Mike Starkey would hand you the folder and say, go find them. There's a whole world out here. How am I just supposed to go find them? But what it taught you was when something comes your way and it's pressure behind it, it's okay. Just go get it done. So I go to their house. So on the credit app, you get references. You go to the references houses. You call the references. You go to their job, ask them where they at. Whatever you have to do. If you talk to them about they have a favorite restaurant, you pop up at that restaurant, and you figure it out. Yeah, you figure out. See, some people instantly go to, oh no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. And it's not anything wrong with that, but in sales, that's the difference between you making a couple million or not. Right. It's the way it's the way you think. So yeah, I made phone calls before I got here. It's just a part of the daily.
How long were you doing everything yourself before you started hiring?
Never. Because I was at the car dealership. So I couldn't do everything myself. So while I was at the car dealership, like I said, I had Cam setting up my website and he was essentially marketing my website, and leads would come to the website, and he was using Facebook in order to market and drive people to the website from Facebook. And so I've always had Cam, even and before I left the dealership, I also had my mom as well doing the books for me. So whenever I get paid, she'd make sure that the mortgages was paid, and then also when I got a deal, she'd make sure that I got paid, she got paid, Cam got paid, and there was money in the bank. Okay. So always, I've never done it by myself.
Do you come from like any entrepreneurs? Are you the first one?
No. My dad always had like a side hustle. My granddad always had a side hustle. So, yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's ever made millions until I made millions. To be quite honest, my dad has a pretty successful trucking company now, but my granddaddy's beeper company, it was just a beeper company, but it made money. It made like $80,000 a year for years. And actually when he passed away, he passed along a book of business, for his beeper company.
So I know in the beginning you said pretty much all of your businesses like revolve around real estate.
Yeah.
Do you ever see yourself walking away and doing something different?
No. Why would I do that?
Well, are you familiar with she's a YouTuber, like Lily Thompson? She maybe started about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Real estate investing, and she blew up, and she started a new channel called Lily Invest. Mm-hmm. And she was just saying like she made a couple million. She done like she got other business ventures she want to do.
Well, this is the thing. So you gotta distinguish people who make money from real estate and people who make money online. Okay, so people that make real estate money is a lot slower than online money. So when people say they blew up, she blew up online. Her real estate business didn't change, but she blew up online. So her money from her views, from her products that she sold, from teaching people online, that kind of thing, that blew her affiliate sales, that blew up. But her real estate is still hard. Finding deals is completely separate than making videos about what you're doing. And so when people, blow up online, they realize, oh, shoot, I got an audience now. It's a lot easier for me to bring in an affiliate partner and run up $100,000 than it is for me to go find a property, fix it up, rent it out, and make $100,000. And so that's what you see in the real estate industry,
How important is it to you to make content? Like, does it?
Oh yes. To be honest, like I said, in real estate, you don't need to make content. It's not about content at all. Those are the education stuff and the real estate stuff, two different businesses, So if you want to make $1 million in real estate, forget content. Just focus on your marketing. Just focus on your marketing and make offers every day. If you want to have them pair up and do well together, they can. So content hasn't necessarily been the biggest thing, that I focused on this year. It's mainly been, buying deals, raising money, manage my portfolio. In previous years, I've made a lot of content, multiple times a week, but not necessarily this year.
So if you say it's easier to make the money through content and education, like what makes you focus more on?
You need it. How can you teach real estate without actually doing it? So you have to do at least 1, maybe 2 deals a year in order to teach real estate. That's just a society that we live in. Like people that's buying education, they don't want you to have done it 10 years ago. They want you to have actually, they want to see it. That's what people say. Get it on camera or it ain't happen. So
to be fair though, they don't know. Like
they don't know, but they will ask and they will know when you lie to them. And if you do lie to them, they will put it on social media and tell everybody that you lied to them. That's just the genre that we in. So that's why she came out and just said, hey, I'm going to create a new one and say this was my experience by doing this. And these are the new things I'm doing. Yeah. Otherwise she would have just kept, Yeah,
that's what she said. She was like, she was going to focus on the new channel because she's not really involved, so she don't
exactly. That's how it happens, bro. Yeah. That's how it happens.
How many properties do you have right now?
I got just under 70. I think I got like 68 right now.
Is that stressful?
Yeah, of course it is. I got millions of dollars that I'm managing. So yeah, of course. But I mean, anybody making millions of dollars or have millions of dollars in loans or $1 million of responsibility, they have $1 million problems. So I'm grateful that I don't have a Duke Energy problem or a cell phone problem. I happen to have property problems. so is it stressful? Absolutely.
Do you worry about on social media and news? We see a lot talking about like a housing crash. Job losses. Does that don't bother you at all?
No. Mm-mm. No, and it shouldn't bother anybody. I mean, like, the basic thing that we're taught as, like, children is to buy low and sell high. So when we mention a crash, a business person should go to thinking, where's the opportunity at so I can buy low and sell high when it's time? Like, there should be no fear built up at all. Really, the warrior vibe should come out, I mean, it happened. So when COVID happened, everybody thought that was going to be like the big crash, I literally had I just called my investors. I was really secure in my investors at this particular point. I called my investors, that lent to me and stuff like that. I said, this is my plan. Mm-hmm. You down, yes or no? And essentially, I went from, I had spent a lot of money on marketing before, but at that time, I was spending like $5,000 a month on marketing. I said, hey, look, I'm going to up my marketing budget to $20,000 a month for the next 4 months. And I was like, that's pretty much going to be all of my extra money. Okay. But when the deals come in, I need to know who's going to be ready to roll with me. So I just want to know, are you currently are you down to roll with me and we just buy as much as we can, or what? And I had like 4 guys that was just like, yeah, all in, let's get it. Now's the time. So I bought like 60 houses in like 3 months. Damn. During COVID. The craziest part is like 6 months later, everything was just fine. The market had went up at that point because they dropped interest rates and da. So I end up selling most of those as is, and made like 30 to 40 grand profits on each one. Crazy, not including what my investors made, So, fear of markets, that's for, that's for the poor.
The poorest. How old are you?
I'm 35.
35. Yeah. All right. So, how far are you trying to take this? Like, what's your?
What do you mean? You keep putting limits out there. No,
I mean, some people have like goals. I mean, some guys say I want to make $100 million in a month.
But even when you get to a goal, doesn't it change and go further? You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So, in the Bible, God created heaven and earth. Mm-hmm. Okay. He made the sky, he made the land, he made the water, he made the animals. You know what I mean? He made air, carbon dioxide, all these things. And it worked in harmony. And it took him 3 days to do that. Yeah. On the 7th day, he rested, and then he turned around and created us in his image. So, for me, it's like, if he can do something that amazing so quick,
Yeah.
I'm not about to put no limits on what I'm doing in my life. I'm not about to put no limits on what I'm doing in my life. If I want to do something, then, it's a lifelong journey. So, I don't know. I love what I do. I really do. I can't even tell you how much I love what I do. That's why I'm here.
Do you see? Do you teach this to your kids? Are you trying to like have them do this too or take over? Or
no, I mean I want them to do what they love. Okay. So if one of them, I have 6 kids, so one of them gonna like doing this. Like I do share what I do and stuff, and then Amina helps me clean some of the Airbnbs and stuff like that. Okay. I particularly don't like cleaning the Airbnbs, but when she says she wants some extra money, then I'll have the cleaner stop doing it, and I'll bring her in there and do it with her. But I definitely teach them entrepreneurship. So when Amina, that's my oldest, she's 14. When she says, we went into the dog grooming place, to wash our dog, and she's like, oh, what age do you guys hire at? I let her have her conversation with the person. But when we got into the car, I said, honey, with respect, you don't have to apply there when you turn of age. I think it was 16 that they hired at. I said, when you turn 16, if you want a dog grooming business, I will invest in a trailer. Okay, we can set up, a dog washing station, and I literally can just make sure that you have a truck and a vehicle so you can drive, because at 16 you'll have your driver's license. You can just drive around to people's houses, and you know, you can have a dog grooming business, you know.
So okay, that gives me a question, because we had some conversations in the past. Are you anti-work?
Anti-work?
Yes, like a person going to get a job.
No. But no, for me, God created me to create jobs. That's one thing I'm called to do. So that's just the way I think. You know, I'm not.
I remember you asked me one time. I think the last time you was here recording, it was something like, "How do I feel since I went full time?" I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, sometimes I'm envious of people that have jobs because they got a streamlined schedule. Most people, they go to work, they come home.
Yeah, but you do too.
Their brains off.
You scheduled me to come here 3
But I'm
days
saying,
ago.
being an entrepreneur though, you're constantly.
Yeah,
you constantly on go.
Yeah,
like when I used to work.
Yeah.
I went to work. When I came home, there was nothing else to do.
That's so boring.
But you looked at me crazy when I said that, so that's why I'm asking. Like,
but that's it. I mean, but some people like that though, and if one of my kids like that particular schedule, that's great. I'm still gonna push them to be like a high performer in whatever they do. So if Amina ends up liking to want to work, then I'm gonna push her to perform highly, so that way she can be the general manager of a store. You know, but still, I'm always gonna push them towards ownership, always, because that's just how we get our time back. Yeah, that's just how we get our time.
You're an Aggie, and I know that's a big cultural thing.
It is.
What's your thoughts on?
We was at the school yesterday.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you about that too. I'm glad you brought that up. What's your thoughts on like people going to school? Because right now, like.
Yeah, go to college. If kids want to go to college.
You don't think you just throwing away money at this point?
My first private money lender came from one of my friends that I met in college. You know, so my band experience, you know, clapping cheeks in the band room came from college. You know,
but I'm talking about like financials, like today.
That everything
people not finding jobs.
Stop. Everything that's happened up till now for everyone has led you up to be the person that you are. And me personally, I never graduated from college, but I went to college.
You did? I thought you graduated.
I never graduated. No, I got to the car dealership, and one of the like stipulations was if I made more money than my college professor my first year at the car dealership, then I would drop out. So, and I made more money than Dr. Smith. So.
Yeah, you had to throw his name out there, man.
All right, no, we had the conversation.
Okay.
And we shook hands. He said, "Welcome to the life of sales." And, you know, he shook my hand. It's all good.
What? Have you ever thought about going back just to say I finished?
No, not really. Even right now. So 2 years ago, A&T started their first real estate class. Wow. And they called me and said, "Hey, you know, we want you to teach our first real estate class. It's only on Tuesdays and Thursdays." And, you know, they kind of gave me the rundown, and we paid $35 for 2 semesters. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm down. Big game, you know, teaching at the collegiate level. Let's do it."
That's dope, bro.
I thought so too. I went and I submitted my application like they asked. You know, submitted my resume like they asked. I hadn't put together a resume in years. Okay. And when they got my application in, they said, "Oh dang, I didn't realize you didn't graduate from college." I said, "No, but who cares? I got more real estate than everybody to work there. Doesn't matter." You know, they said, "Well, it does. We can't. You know, that's one of the requirements of hiring this." And I was like, "That's dumb, but okay." So ever since then, I've done my best to. I still don't want to get my degree. If I have to get my degree, it's on my goal list to teach at the collegiate level now. But that's one of the reasons why I was at A&T's campus yesterday. Because it's like, well, if I can get there, I can teach the kids. It's impactful.
Right.
Kids learn. They ask for me. You know what I mean? Professors see me. You know, that if I come valuable to the school, maybe they'll figure out a way to put me in there.
I might be wrong, but I swear Lynch had something. He was some type of thing he was teaching out there a couple years ago.
I'm not sure.
I know he didn't.
I'm not sure. And I think they can hire contractors. I think they can hire contractors. But that's one of my goals. That's one of my goals, man. I would love to do that.
So, speaking of the event yesterday, what was that about? And like,
it was an idea that I had. probably a year and a half ago that I never did, but it's essentially just doing street interviews. That's what the social media calls it, doing a street interview, and it's kids. So in order to entice them, you're giving away money. So I called it a trivia. So I asked them a real estate question, and if they get it right, then they get $5. But they can choose, to take it or double it. And now if they choose to double it and they get the next question wrong, and then of course they don't get any money, but they can. It was fun. We had a lot of fun.
Good turnout.
It was a great turnout. I hired a kid that's on campus to help me market it and to just have students ready for me. And so he did a great job.
Dope.
This dude, he did such a good job. He got testimonials from everybody that got paid.
That's what's up.
Yeah, posted it online and tagged me in it. He just phenomenal job. That kid did great.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on to your story about how you got you call it the manor?
Mm-hmm. The manor.
The manor. So it's your personal house, but you
just do a bunch of
monetized
stuff
it,
there.
basically.
Yeah, exactly. I always wanted to do that. As a kid, I always wanted to have. My mom said, and I remember it too. I always want to have a 8 bedroom house with 8 baths. I always want to have that. So it's so interesting to have this house. So it's like a 22-acre property, and it's a nice size house on it. And so I've always wanted to be able to make money. I've always wanted to do the things that I wanted to do, and then other people want to do those things with me, so they're willing to pay me to do those things. That's what I've always wanted. So, and that's what we got. So. We do a bunch of different things out there, and people come do them with us.
And just name a few of the things that you do.
We just had a range day, so I got a little shooting range, so people come over and shoot the range, shoot the guns with us. At those, I don't charge everybody. Typically, I just charge one person, to get that experience.
Okay.
And we do a bunch of trail rides. That's kind of been our whole theme all year. Trail ride is like the saddle club community, the people that ride horses, they like to ride most of them don't own big acreage. They pay somebody to keep their horse, so they look for places to ride, and so they come out and ride the horses, and then they've been riding all morning, so then they take a break, and then food trucks come out, and then the DJ comes out. So then they end up riding with the DJ, and people come out and line dance. So it's like a whole community thing. Those are dope.
How do your neighbors feel about all this?
They don't like the noise. At least that's what they say. They say they not racist. I say they racist, and so I'm still trying to figure out what my actual thoughts are. I pay the sheriffs to come out, and the sheriffs think that they're racist as well. But I'm so optimistic, I'm like, well, maybe they're not racist. Maybe they just don't like the noise.
I mean, are the sheriffs white to say that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm probably
right.
I'm probably gonna lean racist.
Right. No, they definitely racist. Yeah. But I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah. How do you feel about security? All these randoms knowing where you live at.
Everybody knows where you live. I know where you live right now. I can pull your name up.
I mean, you can, but what I'm saying is,
No, it's no buts. Stop putting limitations on that. See, everybody does that. Oh, I don't want people to know where I live. Nigga, we know where you live. They've been having phone books for years.
But they have no reason.
With the address.
They have no reason to look at where I live. But if they come to my house and say I got all this stuff.
We've been delivering millions of freaking books to a random's house with our address in it and our phone number in it for years.
But
hold on. And so any random person can open up that book, see your name, see your phone number, see your address randomly, because that's the word you use. Okay. Randoms.
Random people.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
It's the same thing. So if you would like to limit your life, that's what I always tell you. If you like to limit your life based off of some thought that you had, not that anybody else had, but some thought that you had, that's dumb.
You've gotten this question before, though.
I'm sure. Oh, yeah, by a bunch of other limiting, belief kind of people.
It's just a question. Like
no, it's not. It's a question that you have. I never thought about that one.
You ain't never thought about that.
Never.
Has your wife ever mentioned that?
Yeah, but that's because she's a limiting belief person. She's not the person that's on this journey. I am.
It's a fair
It's not.
In the world
It's
we
not.
live in, it's a fair thought. Not saying
We've
nothing's
been
gonna
living
happen,
in the same
but,
world since God created it.
but things get worse. But it says
How
things
during
get
the civil
worse,
rights
things get
movements,
bad.
they was knocking out glasses in their own people's property. You know. Okay, so think about this. Think about this. Have you ever gone out to like pick strawberries?
No.
Have you ever? You don't have any kids.
I do got a kid. I got a daughter.
Oh, have you gone to Woods of Terror?
Yeah, we went this past October.
Okay. When you went there, did you think about going into the owner's home and breaking in?
No.
Okay, then.
But it's different.
It's not different.
Can I explain why I look at it differently?
Go ahead.
All right. First off, our people are a little different than other people.
Okay.
Secondly, I come to your property, I see this nice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna entice some people. Like, it's the same reason why you hear in Hollywood Hills, why does a celebrity house get broken into? Because it's a celebrity's house.
People's house in the hood don't get broken into?
It does.
Okay, so what's the difference?
I guess it's just.
Why would I put that on me? Why would I put that on me?
It's just me personally, I don't like a whole bunch of people at my place.
So that's why you're not gonna do it.
So it's like,
but that's because
it's on my thoughts though. Like
that's my whole
point.
That's my whole point
what you're doing.
You absolutely let everybody know what you're doing. Why do you think Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or what's your boy? They got Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett. Why do you think they get on the news and explain what they about to do? I'm just saying, influence is still. It's always been influence. So
you don't think it's
no, nope.
Being too flashy, that's not a thing to you?
No, being flashy. How about inspiring people? Well, how many people do you know that owns 22 acres? Do you know anybody that has a 22 acre property?
I don't think so.
If you did know someone, it would be one person. Okay, it would be one person that you would know. If you did, most people don't know anybody with 20 acres. You know, especially somebody that's black, like you said, because we're different. So when people come over to our property, they get inspired. I get a chance to be an example, because then they're like, oh my God, is this yours? Then they want to know how. They want to know why. Because once you see something, you can't unsee it.
I agree. Some people get inspired, but some people get jealous.
Okay.
Some people hate.
So what? Have you ever shot a gun before?
Yeah.
Great. Now I get a chance to do it. It's all good. It's normal. It's life. That could have happened at the gas station. They see a bunch of cash. They get jealous at the cash register. Oh, well, that Indian guy been prepared. He got that shotgun ready. He been waiting for somebody to show out.
I got you.
Yeah. So that's how I see my life. I'm not about to limit my life at all. You know, whatever God's got for me, which is whatever, I desire and his will for me, let's roll. I'm trying to get that. And like I said, I've wanted to do this for you since I was a kid. So I can remember when it snowed a lot. It snowed like 4 feet in Raleigh, which is like unheard of, And when I was a kid, I had to have been maybe 11. And I said, man, I wish I had a 4-wheeler, because then I would buy, I'd buy like a little scooper, and then I just, clear everybody's driveway. They would pay me to get, to do their driveway. That's how I would pay for my 4-wheeler. Literally, I've always thought like that. So, here we are. Yeah, here we are. No, I've always been like that. So, okay. Yeah.
So, real briefly, tell us how, because the way you got that house was like pretty impressive. So, like, in layman's terms, somebody that don't really know about. Yeah. How
so I say that it's normal how we got the house, because like I feel like all of my neighbors got their houses the way I got mine. Yeah. But the seller agreed to terms. My down payment was $100,000, and I used I didn't have $100,000 cash. I had equity in my house, and I strategically just told one of my partners, hey, look, bro, when I find the deal, I'm gonna secure your money with my current house I live in, and I'm gonna buy this new house. Once we get moved in over there, I'm gonna sell that other house, pay you, your $100,000 back, and I think I paid him 14%. So he got paid $14,000. and it only took me like, it might have took me like 8 months to do that transaction with him. So, but yeah, like that's the way it happened. And I say it is normal because I be going to some of my kids go to a private school, and I be going to these little birthday parties, and the conversations that the white guys be having with each other go like that. Like, oh, I inherited this house from my grandma, you know, and I bought it from my brothers. You know, I bought it from my family members, so it's our house now. I was like, oh, that's dope, man. That's dope that you bought it from your family. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I gave them $10,000 and I make them payments. It's like normal. They just say it like, you know, it's not educational. This is how it goes. Yeah. You know, so that's why I'm trying to change my normal. Even the way when we moved over there, we had tenants when we bought it first, so I'm just going over there chilling, you know, cutting the grass and stuff around the tenants. Even when we was going over there then, I see the neighbors with like golf carts. Everybody got a golf cart. It ain't even like an amazing thing. It's just like a requirement to live over there. You know, you pull up to the freaking gas station and people is filling up golf carts. That's it's like, crazy. What's going on? Yeah. You know, we at Myrtle Beach or what? So, yeah. So that's how we got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So kind of veering off from the business talk, I like to get to know a little bit about my guest. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions that I always ask everybody.
For sure.
So this is just about you.
Okay.
Like not family, blah blah blah.
Okay. Cool.
What's one of your favorite activities?
My favorite activities?
Yeah. That ain't got nothing to do with work, business.
It would have to be roller skating.
Really?
Yeah, quads. Yeah, adult night.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, I love roller skating.
Okay.
Yeah, I can spin, touch my toes, all that good stuff.
Awesome.
Facts.
Well, how long you been doing that?
Shoes, ever since I got locked up in high school.
You got locked up before?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm finding all kind of stuff. I never would have guessed that. Okay. What's your like a good show you're watching right now? Are you into?
Zatima. It's a Tyler Perry show. You know, shout out to Tyler Perry. He just bought BET. But
oh, really?
Yeah, but it's called Zatima. It's like a spinoff of The Sisters, and it's just like a relationship drama show. Zach is the boyfriend. He has like this childhood of just like a rough childhood. His mama was on crack, you know, that kind of thing. And then Zatima, her family pretend like they're so studious and have money and stuff like that. And so she came up from this, you know, broad shoulder kind of family, and now they're, you know, blending their lives together by being in a relationship. So they both have their own dramas that they go through, and that's what the TV show's about. Okay. Yeah.
What's the last movie you've seen in the theater?
The last movie I think seen in a theater. Whew. I took my oldest daughter to the movies with her friends. She wanted to go, and what did we see? I can't even remember because I was so focused on watching them. I can't even remember what we saw.
Do you find so when you're out just living life, do you find yourself constantly thinking about business?
See, my business is my lifestyle. I love what I do. You know, I don't care who I would have been in front of with Tommy just calling me. Tommy is my student. He paid for education. He finds deals. He sends them to me. And I love what I do. So this is just like a day in my life. It's not even like, I don't even feel like that was work.
Well, no, I mean, I get what you're saying.
I don't. I love it. I do. We had range day at the farm on Saturday. You know, like I said, I made money that day, but I like shooting as well on my own property. Yeah. You know, people wanted to hang around I think I ended with like 2 people, and they were just having such a good time. I said, bro, I grabbed a beer. You know, I had the fire pit going. I said, bro, y'all stay as long as y'all want. I'm at home. You know, so I don't feel, of course I think about work, but I don't see it as like this is work. You know, now there's some things that I'm just not going to deal with today. You know, but I don't even see it like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are you into like video games, anything like that?
Mm-mm.
I'm a big gamer.
Yeah.
You never have been?
Nah. No, I've never been into video games. My dad, you know, bought games and stuff for me, but it ain't never like kept my attention for any amount of time.
Yeah. What's the most lavish thing that you've purchased? What is that?
This is a Rolex. Jesus Christ, I can't even think of the actual name of it right now. But it's a Rolex and it's rose gold with the, with the rubber band. And yeah, I bought this one because I was partnering with Jamel on an event and he had a Rolex, and I was like, I'm not about to be the co-host and not have a Rolex with this man beside me. So I splurged.
If you don't mind me asking, what was the ticket?
Actually, the Rolex store right up there off of Battleground was going out of business.
Yeah.
So they had it on sale. Yeah. So they marked it down from, I think it was like $14,000. They marked it down to $7,500. So
that's not bad.
Yeah, so I financed.
That's the most lavish thing
that day. This is, $7,500 on a watch.
It's a Rolex,
and low key, it was $14,000 retail. So I tell people I paid $14,000. Really? I got to, you got to continue to cap. Yeah. Other than this, this is kind of a splurge to me.
Okay.
I love this watch. Okay. I wear it every day. I wear it in the garden.
Really?
Yes. I wear it all the time. People be thinking I'm crazy. I've broken this band that costs $400 maybe 4 times because I wear it so much.
You don't just got like a little Apple Watch you can throw on some days?
Nah.
Dang.
Nah. I got a couple Skagans.
G-Shock?
I got a couple Skagans, and I will wear them sometimes, but most days.
Does your wife have one?
No.
But you want one?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Okay.
I don't know.
What's the most? Have you done like a big romantic getaway?
I haven't gotten into my travel bag. The last 5 years I've traveled more. But I've sacrificed a lot to get to where I am. So what I try to tell people is you can live your rich life, but your rich life don't have to be everybody else's. So I always tell people you just prioritize what makes you feel rich, So and those are the things that I do. So I don't travel because that does not make me feel rich at all. I feel like it's a waste of money. Like
really?
Yes, I feel like it's a waste of money. I don't know.
I like traveling.
Nope. Now, what I will do, what does make me feel rich, is if somebody pays me to travel to Atlanta, I will travel to Atlanta and I will make them pay for a nice Airbnb.
Well, to be fair,
yeah.
Over the last 5 years, all my travel has been
paid.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, I like that. That right there, that makes me feel rich. Somebody is willing to pay me and I get to travel. Oh, that makes me feel rich all day. What makes me feel rich is all of my bills being paid in the first week of the month. That makes me feel rich. So I focus on those particular things that makes me feel. I don't do all the things. I don't need to go on no lavish shopping sprees. Okay. I don't. I would like to have a Porsche. A Porsche is on my list for my 40th, but I sacrifice a lot. So I can just focus on the things that I really want.
So I like to hear strategies from people, or just not strategies, but like the way people that are. Is it fair to call you wealthy?
I say successful. Successful. Yeah.
I like to see how successful people think.
Yeah.
So you said you were 30.
I'm 35.
35.
Yeah.
We both know you probably can leave here right now.
Yeah.
And go get that Porsche.
Oh yeah, it would be dope. Oh my gosh.
Why 40? Why 5 years? Why 5 years from now?
Well, so one thing that's important to me right now is, okay, great. You got a $1 million crib. That's dope. But it's really dope in our community to have a paid off $1 million crib. So that goal is more important than my goal of owning a Porsche. So, so I'm sacrificing, whenever I do a larger deal, that I make, when I'm making 60, 70, 100 grand, I'm taking, bits and pieces out of that and throwing them at my, at my house note.
That makes sense.
So my goal is to have my house paid off before I'm 40, so that way. The Porsche is like a celebration. Like, right. Great job, you paid off your house.
That makes
flex.
sense. You look at it that way.
Yeah.
Do you see this is your forever house? Do you think you'll ever downsize?
There's never been a black person that's owned a house on that street. So will I live there forever? I don't know, but I know I'm gonna own it because I know it ain't never been a black person on Burnett Chapel.
So you never sell it?
No. Okay. No, if my kids want to sell it, they can. But while I'm alive,
I got you.
No, we bumping music. I turn my music up when I come in the driveway just so my neighbors know I'm coming through. Because they need to know what's up.
All right. Before we get out of here, man, I'm gonna ask you 3 things that you're thankful for.
Okay. Oh yeah, I got it. Oh, you want me to say it now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm
3
grateful
things.
for my kids. I'm grateful, for the jobs that I provide and to those people that I provide them to, and I'm grateful for my relationships. So yeah.
Okay. And if anybody want to reach out to you, how can they find you?
This is me taking action on Instagram. That's just send me a message. I'm willing to talk to anybody that want to talk. So.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you coming through do this interview, bro.
Yeah, appreciate the invite.
No problem, man. If you guys made it this far, y'all already know what to do. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next episode. Peace.
Peace. Absolutely.
All right,
Thank you, sir, for the invite.
No problem, bro.